Hi, I'm Chelsea. I'm the geekiest of the geeky ballerinas. And I am here today to talk about smiling in ballet class. I did a video a few weeks ago about the difference between an authentic smile or a smile that reads as authentic and cheesy. And then I got some feedback that yay, that's helpful, but also when should we smile? So we're gonna talk first about class, and then we're gonna talk about performance, because the reality is no one smiles all the time. It hurts your face and it looks creepy. The first thing to think about is, how do you enter class and how does your teacher enter class? If you have a formal entrance ritual, like a reverence to start class, that would be a good time to try to catch your teacher's eye and smile softly. You don't want to be like, hi, because that's a little bit off-putting. Or if the teacher welcomes the students into the room, you've all been waiting in the hall, that would be a good time to try to catch their eye and smile. Or if you are all sitting on the floor stretching or doing whatever, and then the teacher comes in and you all know to stand up, that would be another good time to try to catch your teacher's eye. The goal here is just to communicate to your teacher that you are happy to be there and you are open to learning and new experiences and corrections that they might be offering. You cannot smile through all of class. Your face will cramp, your teeth will dry out. It is not a good look. But if you are the kind of person that wants to plan these things ahead of time, when a teacher is giving you an individual correction, that is a good time to nod and possibly smile a little bit. It depends on how much work the correction takes to apply. Like if you're getting a little correction, like on maybe your épaulement, and you make the change and the teacher says, yeah, that's it, that would be a good time to smile. Again, it just demonstrates that you are open to the learning and open to the feedback. It's a good idea, if you're a planner, to go through and think, what are some of your favorite things to do in class? Do you have a favorite bar exercise? Mine is rond de jambe. I love rond de jambe. Do you have a favorite thing that you do in center? Do you have a favorite type of turn? Do you have a favorite type of jump? Have the list in your head. And then when that comes up in class, you can smile as the teacher is giving the combination. You can smile while you are doing the combination. You can smile as you finish the combination. There are a few options in there. Your teacher will appreciate if you give a smile and try to make a little bit of eye contact. Again, like around 4 seconds of eye contact. It lets them know that you are enjoying the class, you are benefiting from the class, you are appreciating the effort that they are putting into class. So I would come to class with a list of, these are my favorite things to do. I am going to make it a point to smile for at least 4 seconds at some point during these combinations. And then how do you end class? I always try to do a formal reverence in my classes. Sometimes I get carried away and I'm like, oh, shoot. Okay, bye, go. But I try to do a reverence. That's a good time to smile, whether you're smiling at the teacher or just kind of smiling because you're proud of yourself. I love that. Or if you are more of a bye-bye situation, if your teacher doesn't like an individual thank you, do not always stop after class to smile and say thank you. It will get annoying. There is a reason they shoo you out the door. If your teacher does like an individual thank you, where you all line up at the end and curtsy or bow and say thank you, and they thank you back, that is a great time to smile. That's a great time to smile. And again, even if they are more of the, and we all did the reverence, get out type, every once in a while, stop after class and smile and say thank you, I really enjoyed class. And if you don't trust yourself to know how often every once in a while is, set a reminder in your phone about every 6 weeks. Once a month is a little bit much because teachers have things to do. We need to wrap up our brains from one class and get our brains shifted into the next class. But about every 6 weeks, that would be a good time to make that connection. Okay, so let's talk now about when you are on stage. This plays into acting quite a bit. You want to be smiling in reaction to what is happening on stage. So if you are part of the opening scene in Coppelia, you're going to want to smile because, oh my gosh, your friend is here. Or if you're doing party scene, there's lots of chances to smile. Not the whole time, Because if you go to a party and you do this the whole time, that's even more awkward than what I do. And what I do is go find the dog and sit down in a corner with the dog, right? So, so you're not going to be smiling for all of party scene, but what are some moments that you like in the party scene? You hear my dog? Yeah, she heard me say the word. So like maybe when Clara enters, or not usually when Drosselmeyer enters, he's usually played as kind of like a creepy character. You can tell that from the minor key, but during the magic show, or when the children get their toys, or, this is a good chance to practice changing your smile. Like your smile at the beginning of party scene is going to be like really bright and excited and happy because you have all this energy and you're going to party. And then at the end, it's more subdued because you're tired, and it's more of a thank you for having us. And half of your brain is already thinking about your nice soft bed. But you don't smile the whole time. Party scene is a great chance to practice your facial expressions because there's a lot going on. Like Clara is behaving one way and Fritz is behaving another way and the grandparents are behaving another way. You have lots of chances to change your attention and change your facial expression in response to that. If you are, for example, like a member of the court during the last act of Sleeping Beauty, that one's harder because there are a lot of different characters that come in, but it's all happy. It's all happy. And you've been standing there for like 27 minutes and you're like, where's the cake in this wedding, man? I'm so bored. Where is the cake in this wedding? Oof. You need to moderate your smiles. So decide for that performance which of the wedding guests that dances is going to be your favorite. Which are you going to be the most excited to see? And don't make it a huge thing. It's not like, because it's not about you, but it's okay to be like, oh, I love Little Red Riding Hood. I'm so glad she's here. This is really helpful when there's more than one cast, because if it's like your little ballet BFF that's dancing, go ahead and show how excited you are for your friend to be doing such a good job. That will read as authentic because it is. And then there will be other variations, divertissements, whatever, in the act where you're still happy, but you're not actively smiling. It is okay to close your lips, do a quick little moisten your teeth, and just be pleasant for a minute. The key to pleasant as opposed to dead is dead is going to have a very straight head and not focusing on anything and just like a dead mouth. And some people's mouths naturally curve down. You are the ones who get yelled at the most for being told that you look grumpy, even when you're not. So if you're trying to look pleasant without scrunching your face, again, it comes back a little bit to your eyes. Make sure that you are relaxed around your eyes. So don't stare into a light tree. We need to be relaxed around the eyes because that's a nonverbal signal of comfort. And then make sure that your eye line is obviously following the dancing. It's not enough to do this. Just moving your eyes is weird and you look like one of those like spy paintings. Do you know what I mean? Like those old canvas paintings where someone cuts out the eyes so they can like creep back. Anyway, not the point. You want to show your eye movements. So as your eyes turn, you can turn your nose. You can tilt your head. You can come up and over. There needs to be a little bit of looseness from the rib cage up, even though you can't move your feet. And you could be it's more work than it looks like, because I just went through 4 different facial expressions there. You might want to look for YouTube videos on like beginning modeling tips. I went to a modeling thing one time and like standing there and changing yourself just a tiny bit in rapid click, like, harder than it sounds. So I'm going to guess that beginning modeling videos are also really helpful, but it is okay to think through your facial expressions before you get on stage. If you are one of the people that struggles looking engaged, because I know your brain is engaged. Actually, sometimes we get bored, but usually your brain is engaged. It's about how to show that with your body. It is totally okay to go through and map how you want to show that. And it is totally okay and very recommended to practice it in rehearsal. One of the things that I think in general we forget to help our core dancers with, like our Waltz of the Flowers, any of those big core work pieces where you're supposed to look happy, we spend so much time getting the choreography correct, getting the spacing correct, getting the timing correct, that we forget to take the time to coach students on the facial expressions. And we kind of just, it's like they're drowning in the middle of the lake and we just like frisbee out one of those like round life preservers and we're like, well, if you catch it, great. And if you don't, that's on you, not me. I threw it out. Oop, sorry. And I'm just as guilty of that as anybody else. It's hard to know, it's hard to remember to build that coaching in. So if you as the core member went through and thought about your facial expressions, what if you thought about it as you learned it? Like if you learned 64 counts of choreography on Wednesday and you went home Wednesday night and planned out the facial expressions for it and then made that part of your rehearsal, you're gonna read really well on stage. And I'm curious if anybody notices what you do. Leave me a comment if you try that. I'm really curious if anybody notices that your facial expressions are the same every single rehearsal, or if they just don't comment on a lack of expression. And then in those moments when you're doing a really high energy piece and you are supposed to be like big, happy, high energy smile the whole time, if you ever get to turn to the back of the stage, if you ever get to turn upstage, you need to exhale forcefully because A, you probably forgot to exhale all the way, and B, it relaxes your face, and then you are ready to turn around and be turned right back on again. Do not do this if you are only turning to the wing. Someone can see. This only works if you are fully facing upstage. Relax your face. You're here, you're here. Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. I'm back. It'll help. It'll just kind of help uncramp your face a little bit. Those pieces that are super high energy and super bright smile the whole time, they take a lot of endurance. Don't think you can turn it on stage. You need to build that endurance in your rehearsals as well. I hope that was helpful. If you are still thinking, I do not have enough information about smiling, please let me know. Please, like some specific you forgot this would be really great. I am very happy to keep going into this topic and trying to help you, but if I have missed the boat, I need to know that. I also have a monthly newsletter where I talk about a technique tip and an element of artistry every month. I have teaching resources on my website. I also have a blog on my website. All of that can be found at geekyballerina.com. I hope you have a really great class. And if your face is a little tired, it's okay, because it means you smiled.